there really are three important trends that are coming together that are creating this sort of wave of data breaches now. First off, in enterprise IT, we've been really successful at digitizing sensitive enterprise data. I'm talking about stuff that used to be on, paper in a filing cabinet under lock and key, patient data, credit card data, financial transactions, that sort of thing. And the whole idea here is that once we digitize this stuff, we make it really easy to share and to automate and to allow employees to work in different places. You can have your supply chain managing their own inventory, that sort of thing. Some people are calling this the frictionless enterprise. And the whole idea is that we're making business very efficient. But really the second trend here that's coming together is that when you make things easy to share, you also make them easy to hack. In other words, you've increased the size of your attack surface or the attack footprint that hackers can go after. And then lastly, the last trend that we're seeing is the fact that the security architecture, that is the classic firewall-based perimeter, is no longer relevant or as effective in a world where you have borderless applications and borderless users who move in and out of your enterprise, or people who are using their own devices to get work done. So those really are the three trends that are coming together to create this hacking environment we've seen. What hackers are doing is that they're finding that the easiest way to target enterprise data is to attack individuals. In other words, they go after individual users, or they go after your members of your supply chain, or they go after a contractor who may have access to certain applications. They target these users with phishing and social engineering types of attacks. And when one of them is compromised, once the hackers have those credentials and they can get past the firewall, well, they have the keys to the kingdom. They can move laterally through the IT infrastructure. They can hop from application to application to application. It's happened in every major data breach we've seen over the past 2 years. Sony, Target, it's believed to have played a role in the TalkTalk breaches recently in the UK. So it's a very serious attack vector, and it's one that hackers are exploiting left and right. And frankly, it's what we're labeling as the data breach blind spot. That's what we call it. And what that means is you're only as secure as your least secure user or partner or contractor that you're giving application access to. The data breach blind spot comes about because of the great difficulty that enterprise IT architects have with a technique called segmentation. So segmentation is a basic enterprise architecture concept. It's the idea that you're logically or physically separating one portion of your IT from another portion of your IT. So the most common example is when you're using firewalls to separate your internal or trusted network, like your LAN, from an external or an untrusted network like the internet. But thanks to this data breach blind spot, that type of basic segmentation is no longer relevant. It's frankly out the door. Now hackers who compromise a single user are effectively an insider. And what that means is the firewall, that segmentation that you've used to separate the outside world from the inside world, can't stop them. Stop thinking in terms of trusted and untrusted networks. There's no such thing. The distinction, the notion that there's this trusted infrastructure versus an untrusted infrastructure is obsolete. You have to assume that the hackers are already inside, that your environment is compromised. And what this means is you must accept the fact that your firewall can't keep you safe any longer. In other words, no network, no user, no device can be fully trusted. Your firewall alone can't protect you any longer. Secondly, you need to orient your segmentation around protecting applications from end to end. In other words, look horizontally. Don't look at the LAN, don't look at the WAN, don't look at the internet, don't look at the cloud as if these are separate environments. They're not. The applications don't respect the boundaries between them. They move across those boundaries. Users don't respect the boundaries between them. You need to be looking end to end and thinking about how you consistently apply policies, access controls, and protection all the way across those silos. And then thirdly, what I'd encourage you to do is embrace the idea of software-defined security and segmentation, not infrastructure-based segmentation. Relying on the infrastructure is really what has led to this problem. It's because firewalls and the networks and routers and switches and gateways that we depend on to do this type of segmentation just can't keep pace with how users move, with how applications move. Instead, you need to be thinking about virtualized security that follows applications from end to end.